statement, or you just want to open it up for questions?
To God be the glory. You guys go ahead and ask whatever you got to ask.
Coach, through the first 6 games now, the post rotation that you used with Cam and Austin starting and Torian and Craig off the bench, how would you think that's really worked for you guys?
I think it's a work in progress. You know, it's definitely, I think it has potential to develop into one of our strengths. And with Austin and Cam, you got 2 skilled basketball players who, you know, really have a lot of offensive skill and have good size. And then with Torian and Craig, you got, you know, high energy athletes that bring energy to the game. And I think Craig has been, I would say, our most improved player. You know, I think he's done a great job, and you know, it's a credit to his hard work and how hard he plays. So, you know, those guys, you know, they're going to continue to grow and in all phases. And we'll look at different combinations, and we've done that, you know, for the most part. But you know, I like that group of our front court.
Coach, I know you've addressed this a little bit, but if you would, in a little more detail, this group is by and large the same group you had last year, but obviously there are differences in play and performance, with yesterday being example 1A. What's, in your eyes, the differences this year, last year?
I think maturity and character. You know, I like the maturity of this team. I think D. Brown, Scott Thomas, Torian have grown as leaders. You got young guys like Cam Black and Craig Sealy, sophomores who have really matured. And then, you know, guys like Luke Krause, who I think is developing into a leader, you know. And I think they just embraced the opportunity. I think our chemistry, just in terms of people, you know, we have a good chemistry, and they have a willing mentality. You know, they want to do everything they can to make things work. So, you know, I think a lot of it's maturity and character, and I think they developed as players. You know, they developed as players also.
And I'm not sure if this is exactly the maturity that you speak of, but is D. Brown's willingness to take minutes at the point and kind of change his role, is it an example of that?
I think so. That's a good, that's, you know, analogy. That I think D is more vocal. I think his understanding what we need has grown. And again, I think for him as a player, I think he's embraced it, because I think it makes him a more well-rounded player, the fact that he can play the point guard. I think it helps his career. So, and he's a student of the game. He's a student of the game, you know, and you know, really him being able to play the point has been huge for us, you know, really. I mean, he's played the position, and he's done a nice job.
Have you seen ways where his playing of the point has improved or at least helped his game when he's at the off or shooting guard?
Yeah, because sometimes he can even run the point when Jordan's in the game.
Right.
So we can move Jordan off the ball, and you got two guys that can handle the ball, two guys that can attack pressure. Makes him a better playmaker at both spots, D. And probably, yeah, without a doubt, probably statistically speaking, D's assist to turnover ratio probably is the best on the team. So, he's done a nice job.
Will you talk a little bit about Western Kentucky?
Well, I know they're young. They always a team that is going to be talented, but I haven't done a ton with them. With the stretch we had, 4 games in 7 days. Really don't look too far ahead in the day. Just kind of reviewing and getting our breaths a little bit. But I know anytime you go on the road and you have to go, I know they're home, playing in their gym. You have to play the game well and with a lot of maturity and mental toughness. But I know they got some talented young guys, a couple of freshmen that I knew of, one from New Jersey and one from Bowling Green, Kentucky, actually, that we watched in high school. But I don't know a whole lot about their team right now.
After the 4 games in 7 days, what are some of the things you're going to really look back and analyze those games and work on those things this week then to try to correct some things? Is that, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but is that the plan?
Yeah, no, I think it's important. It's November 27th, 28th, whatever the date is. It's early. You got to continue to get better. And when you got days that you can practice, for us, I think that's important. Defensively, our man, we in our zone, we have to get better. We have to get better. And we got to look at, offensively, just look at the game against Temple and kind of figure out, how were we so efficient, offensively? What did we do? The field goal percentage in both halves, and even the second half was even higher. What was it? And let's build on that. But we have to shore up our team defense, both in the man and the zone, and keep getting better there. And so that this week of practice, and I think it's important too that our guys, after playing the schedule we did early last week, that we give our guys a little rest. They got to get back in the swing of school, Thanksgiving break over, so they got to be able to rest their bodies a little bit. We got a little time to do that too.
Was today an off day then
Today's
for the
off
team?
day.
Okay. And then go the rest of the week and then travel Saturday?
Right. We'll bite it up. We'll get in the weight room, which is important. We'll have some practice. We'll have some off days. So, but come Wednesday, we'll be geared up, ready to get work done towards the game on Sunday.
If there was a weakness, would it be what you mentioned, that you're most concerned with the defensive effort? Would that be the number one?
I think the last couple of games on the man-to-man, we just, we have got teams are shooting too high percentage. I think both the last 2 games they started out shooting think Temple might have scored 7 out of the first 8 or 6 out of the first 7, something like that. And GW was very high in the second half. So we got to work on that, you know. And it's team defense more than anything else. I mean, individually, we can all improve, but I think the biggest jump is our team defense and building on our principles. You know, I think that's the number one thing. And then, again, our offensive efficiency, if we can kind of dissect it and look at, you know, what works and what we got to improve. But I like the way we executed, especially in the half court in the game, probably the best of the year against Temple.
Coach, if you could comment on the situation at Syracuse.
I got a statement here that I'm going to read. It's kind of an emotional thing for me, so kind of bear with me. It is an emotional thing. I've been shocked, disturbed, and deeply concerned about this whole situation. My heart has been heavy, and I've been in much prayer over this the past few weeks. It's my Syracuse family. First off, my prayers and my heart goes out to any victim of child abuse or sexual abuse, any victim. It's a terrible thing. I have children and grandchildren, and this is a parent's worst fear. I've known Bernie for over 35 years, Bernie Fine. I've known him as a coach, a co-worker, and a friend. I've never witnessed any of the alleged behavior in my time, 35 years being around him, being around his family. It's very sad and disturbing. It's a very sad and disturbing situation, and I pray for him and his family and all those involved. I always reach back on my faith. I serve a God that knows all. You know, he's omnipotent, and he sees all. He's omnipresent. And I serve a God of truth. You know, he's the way, the truth, and the life. So I just pray that God will shout out the truth loud and clear. And I think right now that's, you know, I just pray that the truth will be shouted out loud and clear, and that's what the investigation will determine. Any questions you have directly, I answer, but that's basically things in a nutshell.
If we could ask about Coach Boeheim.
Coach is probably one of the most loyal guys I know. You know, not just coach. You know, to his Syracuse family, you know, he's a loyal guy and a caring guy. And you know, you know, my prayers go out to everybody because this touches everyone. I'm not there. I don't know everything that's going on. I haven't talked to Coach. You know, I haven't talked to anyone. I've talked to a few of my fellow alumni and one of my teammates. But you know, it's got to be a tough thing, you know, to go through. You know, and it's in my prayers. It's got to be tough.
Are we good? All right. Thank you.